When I was in middle school, me and my best friend met each other. We were like 11, 12 years old. She has a lot of mental illness too. She was adopted after going through foster care a number of times. This was after her mother had killed both of her sisters.
So, Mary, tell me about your experience. How is it that you're so knowledgeable about the issue of homelessness?
It stems back to my childhood. Okay. At 4 years old, my mom was diagnosed with mental illness. She was bipolar disorder. In middle school, my best friend, she was homeless herself. We took her in to my family and helped her out. Mental illness kind of goes through my entire life. It weaves in and out of my entire life, trying to figure it out, why I grew up the way I did. And up through my bachelor's degree, it was all based around, trying to understand my mother and my best friends and why I grew up the way I did, why they deal with the things they deal with, how, and what they deal with, just to understand that too. And that led me to a degree in social work and with a minor in criminal justice. I've worked in many different areas, from hospitals and prisons, halfway houses, Habitat for Humanity, group homes, schools, hospitals, the ambulance, and now outreach work. Through mental illness and also through homelessness, I've seen a lot out there. Habitat for Humanity, they brought me all around the country. I've built houses in now 9 states and Dominican Republic. So my life is between mental illness and homelessness and rebuilding and building houses and basically all this kind of stuff just kind of melts them together to me.
A lifetime of experience dealing with people that were either housing insecure or homeless. It's just been part of your life from childhood till now your early 40s. I've got some questions for you, so I'm interested to know your thoughts regarding homelessness.
So my mom is bipolar. She was diagnosed when I was 4 years old. It was after my youngest brother was born. They thought it was postpartum depression, but it was not. It turned out to be bipolar. And so I grew up with that in my life, with her, ever since I was 4 years old. When I was in middle school, me and my best friend met each other. We were like 11, 12 years old. Okay. She has a lot of mental illness too. She came from a background where she was adopted after going through foster care a number of times. And this was after her mother had killed both of her sisters.
Wow.
So she had been through a lot of trauma even up till 2 years old. We met, like I said, in middle school, 11, 12 years old or so, and became very good friends, and still one of my best friends now today. She was homeless herself, and we took her in. And I think that might have been the first time that it hit me, seeing what she was going through. Her family literally kicked her out. Her adopted family kicked her out. And so she was out on her own, and she was in a shelter. And we eventually took her in from the shelter.
What do you see happening that's making a difference for homelessness in terms of organizations or approach? You seen anything that's appealing to you?
So actually, there's a lot happening right now, especially around affordable housing, but specifically California. There's a lot going on around affordable housing right now. And Habitat for Humanity, I've been with them for 20 years now. They've always been like the spearhead, as far as like leading this whole thing. But also around the Bay Area, there's a lot of things happening. There's been restaurants that have been, either closed down for the pandemic, or if they've been boarded up or something like that, and that are never going to open up again. And so people are looking at those type of places saying, well, if this place is going to open as a restaurant again, why don't we revitalize it and use it as housing? Okay. So that's one thing. Even like empty, like parking garages that haven't been used in a while too. They're tearing those things down and rebuilding apartment homes too.
You know of any specific examples where that's actually happened, or is it still just talk?
It's actually, things are rolling right now with it. So there's actually one specific one in San Jose It's a restaurant. It's been boarded up for a while, and they want to replace it with a couple hundred affordable homes, which would be great. So Google, they just made a really big move in the last couple weeks, and they are distributing $128 million towards 18 different organizations that are geared towards affordable housing. They want to build 4,700 new homes for low and middle income families. One of the 18 organizations that they're partnering with is Habitat for Humanity.
I love the concept of it. And it clearly needs the partnership of many different organizations. So that's encouraging.
We've talked about a little bit about tiny homes before. And I mean, that's been a movement, across the country. It started as a trend. People just thought they were kind of cool, these little tiny houses. But more recently, especially through the pandemic, people are realizing that, these are actual ways to get people off the streets, and these are making a big impact, especially in the cities also. Yeah. So LA was the first major city to legalize tiny homes.
When in LA, they're setting up the tiny homes, do you know if this is something that there's how many there are or how people qualify? You just know that they're just making them available, which is obviously a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I know certain people individuals that are doing it themselves, and also different organizations that are doing it. There's one guy particularly that I know him personally down in LA. His name is Elvis. He's a carpenter by trade, and he just single-handedly started taking on this mission, to start building all these little tiny homes, for folks that he knew that were homeless. In Oakland and Berkeley, there is Youth Spirit Artworks. Is a good organization. They'll make tiny homes, and then they decorate them. They paint them up and make them look really, really nice. They paint murals on them, and just to decorate them, make them look nice to the community. They're not just like these little huts.
You are counseling people who are housing insecure or homeless, correct? Or formerly homeless. Tell me what that's all about. What are you doing there?
Yeah, so I'm not currently working in that area. I was doing a lot of homeless outreach before, and that's where I met some of those folks. I have my own business now, as a coach, and, I am looking to, work with those folks again, help them to work on their goals and, get further along, in their life with that.
You have a lifetime of experience from growing up, young lady that you brought into your household, through people that you encountered through your childhood and growing up that got you to this point. Undoubtedly, the average person doesn't like to see somebody homeless. It hurts them at least for a moment. Maybe it's a fleeting moment, but it's going through their mind, and they realize, what the hell I don't know what I can do. And they just walk by, or maybe they give them some money, or maybe they give them some food. But we hear, don't give money, because that person's probably got a drug problem and they're just going to go use that money for drugs or for alcohol. What are your thoughts?
The biggest things for them, you say you can't give them food because of whatever, you can't give them money because they're going to get drugs and stuff. You can give them a gift card that guarantees only you can get food at this place, but they might sell that for something else too. Pretty much the way the streets run, it's a barter system. If they don't have money, they barter. Okay, it's a barter system. So whatever they do have, they're going to use to get whatever they need from somebody else. What they really, really need is, if you give them a bottle of water and you watch them drink the bottle of water, they're gonna have that. If it's a really hot day, anybody can use water.
Yeah, okay, for sure. That's a great suggestion. Yeah.
A toothbrush. Don't necessarily need toothpaste, but at least a toothbrush. At least like one cloth, like a washcloth, something like that, so they can wash with. Socks. Socks are huge to stay warm in the winter as well. Very, very big. That brings me to blankets. It's like a rolled up blanket. Yeah, and there's like a little snack bag in there also. Just like a little something, like that, which might just be like one meal for them, but it's something.
Tide them over.
The biggest thing that I've seen when it comes to shelters, and this is something that people ask a lot. There's a shelter right down the road. Why don't they just stay there? Would you stay there?
It's a good question. I certainly would weigh my options. Am I better sleeping in the bus stop, in the little kiosk area or whatever, with the overhang in the bus area with the light, versus being in a room full of people who knows who they are and where they've been and what they might do.
Right.
It's a tough choice.
Yep. And what they're bringing in with them, they have bed bugs, or I've been in the field for like over 20 years now, and I've probably come across every creature that you've ever seen or that you don't want to see, from bed bugs to mice to scabies, either in the shelters or in the group homes or wherever. The halfway house had bed bugs.
The importance of providing at least a minimum standard of shelter is critically important, because if you are homeless and you've been in a shelter like that, you're thinking, I am not going for help anymore, or I don't want to be there. I'll take my chances, getting attacked or sleeping on, or whatever bugs or critters I happen to run into.
Yes, I mean, the shelters, aside from like what people are bringing in with them, and you can get into a fight in the shelter. You could, you're going to see drugs there. You're going to see alcohol there. You're going to see whatever. And any place where you bring people together who don't know each other and you have different personalities clashing, anything can happen. You never know. You just never know. And that could be with your roommate who's also homeless. That could be with one of the staff. Right. You don't know. So, that's the reason why people don't usually take shelters, is because they don't feel comfortable with that kind of situation. They'd rather be out on their own. They'd rather be fending for themselves, or like at least find like one friend that they know they can trust, or at least hopefully trust them. And they try to make it out together, like that. And when I was doing outreach, I found many of those kind of situations, either a single person or like one or two people will like just bundle up together like that. And they would stay close to each other like that and look out for each other. And you see that happening. Another big thing with the shelters that they absolutely need that many do not have. I'm just talking to some now that somebody just trying to finally figure it out. You need some kind of postal system. When somebody is homeless,
there's no way to contact them.
The most important thing to them when you're homeless, there's no way to contact. You have no way to collect benefits. Even if you had them, where are you supposed to send them?
Right.
Okay. They can't contact you at all. The only person that can contact you is the outreach worker who's seen you every single day and knows that you're going to be in this vicinity.